The battlefield didn't get louder, it got quieter. No sirens, no explosions, just a soft electronic hum and a camera that sees heat instead of people. Camouflage still fools the human eye, but to a thermal sensor floating silently overhead, it's meaningless. Today, your body heat is the giveaway. And if you don't understand how heat betrays you, then all the stockpiling and planning in the world won't save you. This is where the idea of the ghost shelter comes in. This isn't about hiding from people, it's about hiding from machines. Thermal imaging doesn't care about walls or paint. It doesn't see shapes, it sees contrast. Anything warmer or cooler than its surroundings becomes a glowing confession. A human body at 37 degrees Celsius is a flare in cold terrain. Even in the heat, trapped warmth leaking from a vent or thin material shows up as an anomaly. Modern drones and scanners don't search for people, they search for mistakes. And the biggest mistake is assuming that being out of sight means you're concealed. In World War II, aerial reconnaissance punished anything that broke a pattern. Thermal surveillance is just the next evolution of that same problem. So before you think about tools or materials, there's a mindset shift. You are not building a structure, you are manipulating heat behavior. A ghost shelter doesn't try to block detection completely. That's unrealistic. Instead, it slows, diffuses, and blends heat until it becomes indistinguishable from the background noise. Heat wants to move. Your job is to make that movement boring. The shelter that survives doesn't fight physics, it uses it. And that starts with location. Terrain decides your fate before you even lift a shovel. Dense forests with layered canopies scatter thermal signatures naturally. Underground soil stays cooler and more stable than the surface air. Rock formations, deep overhangs, earth-covered structures, they all dampen heat transmission. Water is another quiet ally. Building near a riverbank lets flowing water absorb and redistribute thermal energy. What you avoid matters just as much. Open fields and exposed hills are thermal death traps. No amount of insulation can fix bad placement. Most people think insulation is about staying warm. In a ghost shelter, it's about buying time. Heat that escapes slowly is harder to detect than heat that escapes all at once. Natural materials come first: packed earth, straw, leaves. Next comes reflective insulation. Foil or mylar facing outward reflects heat back inward, preventing the sharp spikes that thermal cameras love. Finally, the outer skin must match the environment. Soil must heat and cool like soil, rock like rock. Layering is the secret. No single material wins this fight alone. But seal everything too tightly and you create a new problem. Heat builds, humidity rises, and eventually that energy escapes in one concentrated plume that is sensor spots instantly.
Ventilation must exist, but it must be sneaky. The smartest method is horizontal diffusion. Instead of venting up into open air, vent sideways into the earth through shallow channels. By the time that warmth reaches the surface, it's spread thin and indistinct. An open flame is a gamble. Use heat sinks instead. Dense materials that absorb warmth and release it gradually. The principle hasn't changed since World War II. Only the sensors have. Finally, a ghost shelter isn't invisible if it creates unnatural patterns. Nature is messy. Your shelter should be too. Moss, wet soil, stones, and irregular textures absorb and release heat unevenly, breaking up clean thermal outlines. You're not hiding heat, you're disguising it. That's the difference. Thermal detection isn't magic, it's physics. And physics can be studied, respected, and manipulated. A ghost shelter isn't about fear, it's about awareness. It's the evolution of lessons learned decades ago, refined for a world where machines watch quietly from above. When you understand how heat behaves, you stop reacting and start controlling outcomes. That's the difference between hiding and vanishing.